Hey guys, it's John Todd from Total Brohammer here, and today we'll be looking at the Queen in the Crone trailer, as well as going over the announced units and discussing how they'll affect multiplayer, really. So let's go ahead and get started here. Get a little, watch this little trailer here. Very well done trailer, I gotta say. So that was Alariel, the Ever Queen here. And I forget her name, but she's going to be the other legendary lord for the Dark Elves.
The stench of death, sounds of agony.
It seems like there's going to be some new campaign mechanics for these two factions here, of Harganeth and Avalon?
I sense it in the air.
I think it's Avalon.
Wickedness growing.
Actually, I don't think it's Avalon.
Throughout my beautiful land, and I grow.
So as you can see here, it looks like this new Dark Elf Lord is going to be able to mount a Blood Cauldron, which is pretty great. There's also going to be a Sword of Cain mechanic. And as you can see here, we actually got a Regiment of Renown unit of Dark Riders here. And those guys are called, let's go ahead and go down here, Raven Heralds. So they're Dark Riders, and they are mounted on Pegasi. Very interesting, very interesting. So it does look like Alariel does actually have access to Dryads, Treekin, and Treemen as well. She is a high magic caster and a mix of high magic and life magic. So I see her being very strong.
Alariel, the Ever Queen, mother of all.
And right there, we saw some more Sisters of the Thorn there.
To end your darkness, Crone Halibron.
And the thing about the Sisters of the Thorn, these guys are actually, let's go ahead and look at it over here. Where are they? Sisters of Avalon. Sorry, not Sisters of the Thorn. So, among Alariel's most loyal warriors, dual role combatants skilled with both blade and bow. They deal magical flaming attacks, and they also have martial prowess. So very interesting. They look super cool, and I'm liking that. So this is going to be the new character, or I believe this is going to be the new lord type for the Dark Elves hero, which is actually I believe she's called a Supreme Sorceress here. So she's going to be able to use a Dark Steed, Colon, Dark Pestis, Manticore, and a Mighty Black Dragon. And she's also going to have access to Fire, Dark, and Shadows, like all the other Dark Elves, but now Beast and Death as well, so very interesting. Get some new lords of magic on the Dark Elves there. More Sisters of Avalon being some badasses. Okay, so here we actually got, let's go look at these guys' name. They are Doomfire Warlocks of Helibron. They're elite magical cab, very fast moving, and they do magical and poisonous attacks in melee. Subject to murderous prowess, and they have 2 bound spells of Soul Blight and Lesser Doombolt. These guys look like they're going to be awesome. As far as multiplayer goes, I see them being very useful for the Soul Blight and Lesser Doombolt, mainly the Soul Blight here, and the Dark Elves are actually really in need of an elite fast cap, so that's good for them. It looks like they're going to be low armor here. They might have a little bit because of this right here, maybe 50. But, looks like they're going to be pretty squishy, and I don't see them doing armor-piercing damage. So that looks like the, is that? Alright, so that was actually the, handmaiden of Alariel, I do believe, and they're basically like Waystalkers, I assume. Looks like they're mostly a campaign thing. Bolster their resistance spell, and to make them peerless archers. Actually, I have no idea what this unit does. I'm assuming it's an archer unit based on this right here. Maybe a hybrid archer spear unit, archer sword. We got some magic attacks going on over here, and here we have the. Now these guys look very dark elfish, but I'm pretty sure that they are the Shadow Warriors here. And they're basically like Wave Watchers, but I don't think they're going to have armor piercing. If they don't have armor piercing, if neither of these archer units have armor piercing for the High Elves, that's going to be very disappointing, because that is something the High Elves desperately need. The High Elves need armor piercing missiles and either armor piercing or anti-large cap. is what the High Elves are really missing here. But we'll see. We'll see about them. Okay, so here are the new, well, it's not really a Witch Elf type unit. They're more of gladiators. They're called the Sisters of Slaughter. As you can see, murderous gladiators, a duel of death, wield cruel lashes, dealing poisonous attacks. They cause fear, are subject to murderous mastery, and trigger the Trial of Blades augment while losing in melee, improving their combat abilities. So, this ability sounds similar to the Flagellant ability, Faith of the Penitent. Look at these guys in here being badasses. All the new units. There's Alariel doing her thing. Oh, looks like a new spell. Or it could have been just a cinematic thing. We got Hellbrun going after Alariel there, and it's called the Queen and the Crone, and will be coming out on May 31st. So we still got a couple weeks to wait here. Let's go ahead and look at the rest of the details here. We'll start at the top. It's going to be $8, $7.19 if you pre-order. Gonna be a lot of campaign stuff. There's gonna be we already went over the new units for each faction, but they also do have 16 elite regiments of renown, so we're about to go over that. And all this stuff is mostly about the campaign, and although I will be playing some more campaigns in the future, and you can expect that on my channel, not a big campaign guy, so we are a multiplayer channel, and we're gonna go concentrate on that multiplayer. So, let's go ahead and look at the regiments of renown. So, we have the Scions of Mathlon, which are some spearmen with an aura of protection passive ability, which applies a ward save to nearby units while mana is 50% or higher. They also have expert charge finch. The pure main company, White Lines of Trace, so maybe we'll get a useful unit of White Lines of Trace. They do have the Guardian passive ability, so they'll be good to combo with Lords. Maybe you can put Tyrion next to them in the front line, just have them start hacking away so we can get those Sun Fangs. And they do have Sunder Armor, which will also help Tyrion. So, maybe a good combination with Tyrion here. Keepers of the Flame are Phoenix Guard with magic attacks, but they also have the Market of Surian. Now, this is really cool. Entities will burst into flames upon death and deal damage to any nearby enemies, i.e., new interpretation of the Dwarf Slayer Death Blow. So, these guys could be really strong. Very, very interested to see that, especially if they're fighting any tree units or any regenerating units. So these guys are going to be very strong against like the vampire counts. Alright, and the Storm Riders here are Lothan Sea Guard that cause fear, Vanguard deployment, and Fireball moving. I'm pretty sure they can't fire in a 360-degree arc, and these guys also do not have shields, so I'm not 100% how useful they're going to be, but they do have spears. So they will be relatively safe from any like Vanguard deployed cav. So we'll see about these guys. Not 100% sure that's a unit that I'll be using a lot. Alright. And we just have the Grey here, which are a regiment renowned of the new Shadow Warriors. So they have low Shroud ability, increases speed, and reduces the detection range significantly for enemies to spot them for the duration of the ability. So the detection range is going to be reduced, meaning that it's going to be detection range is reduced, so it's going to be harder to spot, and they're going to be faster. That's going to be very strong for this unit. Snipe attribute, able to fire and remain hidden. This is going to be a hella annoying unit, I think. We've got some Ever Queen's Court Guard, which is the Sisters of Avalon Regiment of Renown. They have Encourage and Banner of Avalon ability, increases winds of magic recharge rate. I see these guys being brought a lot. And, yeah, just for that recharge, and of course they're going to have better stats. These guys are also decent melee, so like Hounds won't be able to kill them or anything. Could be a good unit. Both of these, actually. All of these, to be quite honest. Looks like we have the Fireborn. Now this is interesting. Dragon Princess with bonus versus large and fire attacks. These guys will absolutely wreck anything that is large in regeneration, so you're going to want them against probably the vampires. Yeah, we got some bonus versus large cav, at least one unit, so that's good for the High Elves. And we got Heralds of the Wind here, leading Reavers with bows, increased speed, and superior melee stats. So I also see these guys being used a lot. So the overall feeling I'm getting about the High Elves now is that they're going to be a lot more kitey. Like, a lot more kitey. They're going to be They're basically gonna be a lot like Wood Elves, especially now that they have tree units. I'm interested to see if L'Oreal will get those tree units in the multiplayer. I assume she will, based on the fact that Ark in the Black there gets vampire units. So very interesting, very interesting. Elves will definitely be a lot stronger with this, especially if one of these new archer units is armor piercing. Alright, now let's move on to one of my favorite factions, the Dark Elves here. So, Hargraneth, led by Helebron, the Helebroni. Crest Spirit with poison attacks and expert charge defense. That's, yeah, I like it. Pretty good. Sisters of the Singing Doom, Witch Elves that cause terror. Not sure how useful these guys are going to be. Yeah, probably, I won't use a lot, but we'll see. Blades of the Blood Queen, Hargraneth Executioners with Guardian passive, and Frenzy. So, just basically stronger Hargraneth Executioners that you can have your Lord fight in with. So I can see putting Helebron on her Blood Cauldron, and then having these Hargraneth Executioners help out in the front line, because that's where she's going to want to be, in the front line, causing fear and terror, and mashing on those infantry. So, we got the Bolt Fiends here, which is Dark Charge with shields, and they have the Shield Breaker contact effect. Missile hits from this unit reduce missile block chance of target, and they have additional range. I really like this. They don't need the Sunder Armor effect because they already do a ton of armor piercing damage, so this is just going to make Dark Shields a lot more effective against things with shields, which is pretty awesome. So we got Slaanesha's Harvesters right here, which are some Doomfire Warlocks with Word of Pain bound spell and Soul Stealer bound spell. Both very powerful. Definitely a unit that I'll probably be bringing a lot. Knights of the Ebon Claw. Dread Knights does not rampage like other Cold One units. Murderous Prowess upgrade to Murderous Mastery. Probably a unit I will also use quite a bit. Chill of Suntar. Now this is a very interesting unit, but I probably won't use it a ton just because of how weak Hydras are to missile fire. They have a Frostbite contact effect. They have Fire Breath with Frost Breath, which deals more damage and applies a Frostbite contact effect. So Frostbite, if you remember from Game 1, slows the enemy down by, it was a lot in Game 1. I don't know if they changed it or not, but it slows them by a lot, like 48% maybe in Game 1, possibly. I don't remember. Then we have the Raven Heralds, which we already went over, which are mounted Dark Pegasi. I will also probably bring these guys a lot. So I see the Dark Elves just, they're already a pretty toolkit faction. They can deal with everything pretty well. I was hoping that they would get the Charybdis, but it doesn't sound like it. Now, it does say, but this is not all. The Druchi possess a dark and powerful weapon. When blood runs in the rivers and the air is choked with death, the chains will break and this monstrous secret will be unleashed. Initially, I thought, does that mean the Charybdis is coming? But now that, I think it's actually going to be the Sword of Cain, as shown in this trailer right here. So that's probably going to be a campaign thing. Alright, so how is this going to change up multiplayer? Like I said, High Elves are going to be a lot more kitey. I think Alarielle is going to be very good with her combination of High Magic and Life Magic. I think Helebron is also going to be pretty good. I don't think she's a caster. Hag Queen, Lisa Force Heart Math, blah blah blah. Uniquely Mirrors Dark Elf faction. Yeah, it doesn't look like she has any magic, which is unfortunate, but that new caster for the Supreme Sorceress. Now, she looks very interesting. Not only can you have Helebron here on her Blood Cauldron, but you can also have a Sorceress with Death Magic or Beast or Shadows. Man, so I think she's going to be really good. It's going to be like, then again, now that I think of it, you could just bring Malekith with Dark Magic, but if you want any of these other ones, then she could be pretty good. You can also bring in our Dark Seed, Dark Pestis, Mancore, and Mighty Dragon. Very, very interesting. Very interesting. And it says Helebron can field a new caster. I wonder if the other regular Dark Elf factions are going to get it, like Marathi and all that jazz. Also wanting to know that. So as far as the Dark Elves go, like I said, they're just more toolkit now. They have units with some downsides taken off them. These guys will be very useful. War Hydra could be very useful in some matchups, but the Hydra, it definitely needs the regeneration it has. They can be pretty useful, but you gotta take out those archers. Knights of the Ebon Claw. Can't wait for those guys. Can't wait for the Slaanestrous Harvesters. Not too crazy about the Bolt Fiends, but they'll be useful in some matchups. But yeah, all interesting stuff here, and I can't wait to see it all. So guys, we are going to go ahead and end it here. That's all the information on this one that I have found, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Make sure to leave in the comments how y'all think this will change up the multiplayer in Warhammer 2. Bye guys.